Welcome to the BeatLab pitch presentation. BeatLab is a music production service in which users can buy and download sounds, samples, and software all in one place, all for their music. Now, one of the main issues surrounding music production, especially for beginners, is the high cost of entry into the hobby. It's extremely stupid how much these DAWs cost, which is a digital audio workspace. This is what people make music on. So FL Studios is £199, Ableton, a similar service, is £259, and Logic Pro is £199.99. So this leads to my next point as well, in which a lot of these companies, they seem to gatekeep quality behind like high paywalls. On FL, it actually costs between 150 to 300 to £3,000 just for like the baseline mixing and mastering tools. So lastly, it's very complex for beginners to learn music production, and so they end up using things like samples, midis, and different sounds that kind of help them when starting out, because making your own melodies and stuff, especially when you don't know music theory, is very difficult. So using pre-made loops and stuff is so much more easier when you're a beginner. So what's our solution? Well, we want to make it a lower cost for entry, and our samples, sounds, and stuff like that, and our presets and beat packs will be very cheap, like consisting of the highest going from £10, mid-ranged £5, and some even going basically completely for free. We want to make it as accessible and as enticing to new users as possible. So this is how we plan to do it. Now, we also, alongside this, we want to offer cheaper alternatives for the plugins and like secondary software that you can put into a DAW. This will be stuff like an auto tuner, or like mixing and mastering plugins that you can add in. A lot of them are very expensive, but there are some cheaper alternatives. Eventually we do want to make our own, but that's like a few years down the road. So having other companies bring their free alternatives or cheaper alternatives into our thing will be much more better, and we want to have it to be basically around £25 to £100 for our baseline mixing and mastering tools, just making it so much more cheaper and more accessible to our users. So what is the market looking like? Well, it's looking quite good actually. Self-releasing artists in 2020 grew by 27%. There is a reason for this. Obviously, pandemic kind of made everyone trapped inside. That's why I started doing it. I had nothing else to do. But because of that, it's just kept on growing. And now in 2024, they own nearly half of the market. So what does it mean overall, though? Well, the money, there's quite a lot of money. The revenue they made last year was $14 billion, which is incredible. And for an industry list this like costly, there's not many like other cheap alternatives that are accessible for underground or independent artists. Meaning our potential target audience could be very big. We want to create it like a community in a sense, and just have like a space where these smaller artists or like hobbyists can come in and know what they're getting, basically, instead of getting something that's overpriced and won't be that good. We want to offer something that is cheaper and will be just as good as the leading companies. So let's talk about the cost. Well, since we're using Wix to develop our website, it's completely free. As for our sound library, so at the moment we're going to be licensing off of Splice, and Splice is basically an industry website that lets you take sounds and different samples of like instruments and stuff, and we can add them to our samples, our loops, our beat packs, our presets, everything basically. And what Splice is good at is it lets users who purchase these sounds and pay a monthly fee use these for their own monetary gains. That's incredible for us because we're going to be packaging them up basically and selling them. So it's only £20 a month, quite cheap. In a year, that's only £240. It's not that much money. It's very useful and definitely something that we're going to take advantage of at the beginning stages of our business. Now, as for the plugins, such as like an auto tuner or a mixer, how we're going to be selling these on our app is not by making our own, because they cost anywhere between £8,000 to £100 to make, £100,000 I mean, and a small project with a small team could take up to £12,000 just to make. What we're going to do is collaborate. Collaboration equals success, and we want to give these plugin developers and these VST developers a platform, while also bringing more traffic to our site, because we're hosting all of these plugins and stuff that users can buy. So our potential revenue, we're going to be doing the one-time purchases. This will be our exclusive sound packs, plugins, presets that users can buy. We're also going to be doing our affiliate marketing and sponsored content. This is our collaboration with software developers and companies. We're going to earn commission from their sales of their plugins and VSTs, because we're having them on our website. So we're also going to sell merchandise, and I think this will be really cool to have this at events and stuff like that. Finally, we'll be doing our custom services. This will be mixing, mastering, sound design, or a personalized sample pack creation as like premium services. Our value propositions, so we want to make it more accessible. We want to provide education in music production, and we just want to make it more affordable. So our key resources, what will they be? So we have our digital content library, we have our web page, and this is where our content library will be. So this is what it would look like. We also have an expansive amount of content that users can buy. We have free content that you can download instantly. As you can see with the little like download button there, you download that instantly. It's completely free. We've also got social media presence. That's going to be one of our key resources as well. We want to prioritize this and kind of turn our business into a brand. We want to be known in like the production kind of sphere, filter, bubble, if you would say. We want to be known as a brand to go to, trusted, and just a place where you can go to get premium stuff for a very cheap price. 75% of users on TikTok say that they discover new music while on the app. This was obviously to do with, yet again, the big boom of music in 2020, and we want to tap into that a little bit, maybe through our marketing, collaborating with these people, these underground artists, these producers. Not only that, we'll be marketing heavily on YouTube, as we can see here. We'll also be doing it on Instagram, maybe posting new drops of new sample packs and loop packs or sound packs, and also just stuff like on TikTok, as you can see here. These won't be the only channels that we'll use to promote our business, however. We'll also be using our website, our affiliates and influencers outside of social media, or also events outside. This is where we can sell merch and collaborate with producers, DJs, artists, and we're also going to just email our customers directly. So what will our key partners look like? Well, we're going to have the software developers that we're going to put on our website. Now, this is an example of a kind of more cheaper alternative of a software producer. We'll also collaborate with music studios, and users could potentially book studio time via our website. This is a future endeavor, like I said before, but this is something we want to look into. And finally, content creators. Our key activities include providing our users with high quality content. We want to do educational content that can help them better their music production. So that will be our courses, and marketing and audience engagement, and also sponsors. So what will our customer relationships look like? Well, we have a full chat and email support. We also have exclusive content that are people who subscribe to our email system. They might get stuff like discounts or like special packages. But we won't stop there. We'll set up like Discord channels where we can grow our community and even do events like beat battles. We'll also utilize forums, just like using social media in general to like collaborate with our community. To close out this pitch presentation, I'm going to talk about my music journey, specifically with production. It was really fun. I really did like it. However, it was stupidly expensive. I didn't even have enough money to buy FL originally, so I used the free version, which you couldn't save on, had literally no features, and was just useless. But I still somehow managed to do it. But what we want to provide is an experience that is just cheaper, more accessible and simpler to use and like learn from us, and just make it like an alternative to what the leading companies are doing, which is gatekeeping, putting things at a high cost march, and just making it very inaccessible in general. So we just want to make our brand and our business more friendly to our user base.